Everybody, this is Coach Zach Williams with our first edition of our Spotlight interviews. I'm here with a 2023 grad out of Decatur High School. He went to Wofford out of high school, transferred to Georgia Highlands this year, Noah McMahon. We also have with us today 2024 grad out of Cartersville High School, originally went to Kentucky, transferred into Georgia Highlands this year as well, Aidan Larkin. What's up, guys?
What's up?
How's it going?
Going well, going well. This is our first edition, so super happy to have you guys on. Ready to pick your guys' brain about how things are going. We'll start it off here a little bit with you guys are 14-4. All right, you guys are doing really, really well. Noah, you've had three starts. You've had 13 innings to four walks, 13 strikeouts with a sub-1 ERA. That's pretty darn good. And Aidan, you've gone 22 hits in all 18 games, 18 ribbies, seven doubles, three home runs with a 423 average. I mean, that's pretty darn good. So obviously you guys are having really good success, but what as a team have you guys really been able to do really well that's got you guys off to this hot start?
I mean, we just got a lineup full of hitters up and down at 1 through 9. A lot of 6'4" guys in there too, but we just got a bunch of hitters. That definitely makes it easy. And then our pitching staff, man, they're great. Starts with Noah, 1 through 4, even our midweek. We just got a lot of confidence with whoever we got out there. Bunch of great guys.
100%. Noah, what you got?
You don't really see veteran presences at JUCOs, but I feel like we got a lot of guys who have been around the block per se, and obviously, like Aiden said, a lot of talent, and you need guys to lead that, and we've got both areas. So,
yeah, I mean, Aiden, you mentioned other current 643 alumni. We got Kitten Collier, who's at the top of the order most of the time. He was having a hot start last week. I know he kind of tweaked the hamstring a little bit, but DP reached out to him right after the weekend. He said hopefully he'll be back ready to go this weekend. And we also got Alex Karst doing a little two-way in on the bump, hitting. I know a kid I coached at 17 last year, Brady Horn. He had a arm surgery recently, so hopefully he's got a quick, speedy recovery. You guys say that veteran presence, right? So what has been that biggest challenge for you guys when you went to a D1 school, now you've transferred into this JUCO? Like, what has been the biggest challenge or change going from that D1 life to now that JUCO life? Because I know it's a grind.
I mean, everything's changed. Starts with the food, just the people around you, the facilities. I mean, not to say anything bad about Georgia Highlands, but it's just not the same, obviously. And we knew I knew that. Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
But that's definitely been the biggest changes for sure.
Yeah, and I would say Coach O does a great job of just developing young players, but us being from both division ones, like we're established as young men already. We've been through it all. But yeah, going off what Lark said, I mean you're on your own basically. I mean it's a lot less structure with a lot more baseball, to be honest with you. So it's just kind of a riot out here sometimes, but we both love it.
Yeah, you got to be real baseball guys to just dive real deep into the JUCO baseball. You got to love it. You got to love the grind. You got to love the little things. Otherwise, JUCO is going to spit you out real quick, right? Now that you're at JUCO, how different is the recruiting process that it was from high school to a D1, and then you went D1 portal to JUCO, and now both of you are having that recruiting process start over again from JUCO back to that hopefully D1 level that you guys are hoping to get back to. What's been that difference between those different stages in the recruiting process?
I think Noah can touch on it a little bit more than me. Just I'll be here for 2 years, so not a ton going on.
Yeah, I mean, coaches, obviously look for experience nowadays with how the portal is, and when the roster size shrunk, it made recruiting a lot more difficult for high schoolers. Like going from high school to Division I level is not easy nowadays, after the roster shrunk. But, I'd say it's different in a way. Like, I've been around the block. I played 2 years of Division I. I know the ins and outs of a lot of programs. I know what it takes to play at certain levels of the Division I, of the Division II, whatever. But it's just different because you're talked to differently a little bit. You're more experienced. You're going to have a lot of experience at JUCO. Like I said, it's a lot of baseball.
A lot of baseball.
And coaches look for that.
once you start, I know Noah, you've already actually had that recruiting process kind of start, and you mentioned you'll have another year there. But what is going to be something that you're looking for that you might not have looked for coming out of high school, going back to those D1s? Like what might be more important this time around in that fit that you're looking for?
Just gonna ask a lot of questions, talk to who can let me play my game, let me play free, walk in somewhere where I'm valued. Not to say I wasn't valued at the last place because they did a great job with everything, but definitely make sure I go somewhere where I'm valued as the guy and just ask a ton of questions, get their philosophy on certain things, see what they're all about, and just let me play my game.
I mean, I'm trying to be really careful and intentional with my next decision. I don't want to have to hit the portal again, but it's just going to come down to opportunity, and it's kind of hard to really grasp initially. Obviously, a coach isn't going to tell you, hey, we're going to bring you in and you're not going to pitch a lot, or it's hard to really understand what they're truly saying. But like I said, man, like with the experience that I have, I can kind of see through certain things and really just make the right decision for me and go somewhere where I can pitch.
I'll ask you guys this: what advice would you give a current high schooler that's sophomore, getting ready for August 1, where coaches can start reaching out, or juniors and seniors who are in the thick of it? What advice would you guys give them in the recruiting process?
The biggest thing for me would just be, I said it earlier, but ask a ton of questions. Find the best fit for you, find what you're looking for, what they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, don't be afraid of, labels. I know it's, really cool to like say, hey, I'm going to Division 1, but in hindsight, I probably should have went JUCO out of high school. And it's something that I regret. I'm glad I'm here now, but you can't be afraid. Everybody's going to peak at different times. Everybody's going to play their best baseball at different times, and yours might not be until you're 21. And others, it's right impacting an SEC team at age 18. You never know. But if you're not getting recruited at a high clip, it's JUCO, even Division 2, Division 3, man, you just can't be afraid. It's all really, really good baseball anywhere you're going to go. College baseball is really good baseball at any level. So you can't be afraid of, labels and, the D1 tag or whatnot.
I went to a Division 1 all 5 years, sunny Charleston, South Carolina. We're on the beach. It was a beautiful time. We were a darn good baseball team, but we had a lot of guys transfer in that were JUCOs, and they talked about the JUCO bandits, the JUCO life. So I want to hear really what is your day to day, your week to week, how much, when is class, when is baseball, how much are you kind of really moving around, getting prepared each week for all of your academics and baseball life?
Well, we have class Monday and Wednesday set up for everybody the same. So we have the same practice times, obviously. Monday, Wednesday morning is class, and then you go straight to practice right after that from about 2:30 till about 6, depending on the day. And then we got Tuesday during the season. That's obviously a midweek game most of the time, and in the off season, it's a lift, and then another practice or inter squad maybe. Then we got Thursday. Thursday's normally a day before a game practice, just kind of a little bit lighter, more BP, that kind of thing. And then you got your weekend series. Fridays, we play a lot of Friday and then Saturday double headers, but I know some weeks we'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that sort of thing. But a lot of it has to be done on your own, honestly, during the season. Definitely, they helped us a lot in the fall. We had practice pretty much Monday through Friday, lifting 3 to 4 times a week. And even once you lifted with the team, you got to get your own lifts in, got to get your own hitting in. A lot of it falls on you if you want to be the best player that you can.
Yeah, a lot of that extra work. How long are those practices usually last, especially in the fall? I know obviously during the season it's not too taxing, so you guys can be at your best. But how long are those practices usually in the fall?
Anywhere from about 3 to 4.5 hours, depending on how long the inter squad is. Some days we'll have a little bit of practice before, and then we'll go to an inter squad, play like 10 innings. Other days it's just a practice where it'll be like 3.5 hours, that sort of thing.
I mean, it's definitely more hours, but the big difference for me is how fast it gets going in the spring. I mean, you come back from winter break and you're playing games in like 2 weeks. You don't play games until February 14th at the Division One level. Like that's like a good 5, 6 weeks of prep time, inter squads, ramping back up. Like you got to come back from winter break ready to go. So I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, that was huge. Our coach at Charleston always made sure like you have to stick to your plan. You can't take the winter off. If you're taking the winter off, someone else is getting better than you. And even like you mentioned it, Aiden, it was even though you're having 3.5, 4.5 hour practices, if you're not getting your own lifts in, if you're not getting your own hitting in, or your defensive drills, like someone is doing it, someone is getting better than you, and it's falls on you to really get after it. So that's awesome. What at your time at 643? I know Aiden, you were played what, just 16U? Is that correct?
Yeah, 16, maybe 15U fall, and then the whole 16U. Yeah.
15U and 16U fall. Noah, what teams were you on here throughout
I
your?
was just 17U summer and then a little bit of 18U fall.
What at your time here at 643 helped you and prepared you for the next level?
I mean, everything. It was just a family with Danny and Jake, how positive they were, encouraging you guys to be the best player that you could, practicing all the time. That was awesome. Danny always let me stay after and go to the 17U Cougs practice. So that helped out a ton, just being around high level guys that were better than me at the time, really. And just being around high competition and Danny and Jake being great guys, making it a family and always encouraging, staying positive. That really helped me a ton.
Yeah, and I mean the family extends, past, our times of playing. I mean, it's a huge connection. But also and on the pitching side, like the way they prepare you to, just flat out fill up the zone at a high level. I mean, that is, how you get innings in college baseball. And you don't really see that a ton in travel ball before get to the college level. So that really, really helped.
I was on the first ever 9U 643 team back in '07. So we would have practices with his 16-year-old team. It'd be 9-year-olds, 16-year-olds out at like, I don't know, I think it was Alpharetta High School, just getting after it. And he's demanding the same amount of attention. He's demanding the same amount of strike throwing. He's demanding the same amount of focus, all of it as he is with the 16s, but he was with us. So me being able to play with him at 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U, 13U, by the time I got to 17, the foundation was set. We knew what he wanted from us. I mean, that guy does a really good job of knowing where your ceiling is and demanding that ceiling no matter what. And it's either you kind of cower away from it and you might not have that great of a summer, you might not like them, but more often than not, I've seen guys really rise to their full potential and then he gets it out of them, which is awesome.
You go.
Biggie, go. Biggie packing right off of that. What's your guys' favorite memory at 643?
16U at the PBR National Championship with Rick Mang and Jake. We actually won it, national champions, and we got the dog pile, so that was sick. That was definitely by far my favorite memory out there.
Mang told me to ask you, is it more fun to bat flip during the summer, or is it more fun to bat flip in college? He asked me to ask you that.
Well, you get ejected in college, suspended, so definitely more in the summer. There's nothing about that, so definitely in the summer.
My favorite memory, we were so close to dogpiling, but never quite got there. But man, Hoover was just an absolute blast, being in a hotel with, all the guys and, while like, the college baseball World Series is going on and, seeing Danny's like showing you like who all was 643 guys and they're in the college World Series. And, for me, that was like, wow, like, I can do that. Like they were here. But Hoover was just an absolute blast.
I'll shift gears a little bit back to where we're at now. Georgia Highlands, like I mentioned at the beginning, you guys are off to a great start. What have you done to prepare? Like you said, Noah, it's that quick turnaround. It's ready to go. It's here. What have you done over the summer that led you guys to just be ready to go and jump into it? Like what's your routine that you guys are really sticking to, making sure that you're playing at the tip top shape?
Yeah, so I mean, I was playing summer ball up in New England. So I kind of, I hit the portal, and then I was really able to kind of just do me for a couple months and figure out what works best for me and kind of get away from, what my old school, what I was doing there. And kind of just, go have fun again and really develop a routine that maximizes, my output each week. And I just carried that over into the fall and now into the spring. And Georgia Highlands did a great job of, you know, letting me do a lot of that, but also, helping me and adding some more really, really good things in my routine, whether it's lifting, whether it's, my throwing, the way I do my bullpens, it's just really all come together in the past, 8 months or whatnot.
It really started for me redshirting at Kentucky. Learned to do things on my own because not they you weren't pushed to the side, but they had games going on. They had higher priorities maybe, and I had to learn to do things on my own, lifting, hitting, all that. And then in summer, got to finally play again. Summer ball helped me. I got to play for some of the Georgia Highlands coaches there, so that was great. Get to know them, and then just keep lifting and hitting, and keep that going through winter break because it showed when I came back for sure. And you could see with some guys, honestly, what they did over winter break, and now they're hurting.
100%, 100%. You guys got, see, I actually did write it down here. You guys are playing Wabash Valley, Macomb Community College, Catawba Valley, all this weekend. So I hope you guys stay hot. I hope you guys keep getting after it. And best of luck the rest of the season, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.